Changing engine oil on your motorcycle is easier than you think. In this video, I'm going to show you effective way to change the oil and 5 common mistakes to avoid. Keep it clean. Slide a cardboard under the bike. Place the drain pan under the bike. You can get one of these or just make one at home. Run the engine for 5 to 10 minutes because warm oil flows better. Turn off the engine, remove oil cap and unscrew the drain plug. Make sure you don't lose this washer. It's recommended to change the washer every time, but this one looks good to me, so I'm not going to change it this time. Remove the oil filter. It'll leak some oil, so be prepared for that. Wait for the entire system to be empty. You can rock the bike from side to side to make sure you got every bit of it. Do not run the engine on empty system. It will only do damage. Place the drain bolt and washer back. Torque it to manufacturer recommendation. I don't have a torque wrench, so I tighten it to my liking and check for any leaks. You don't want to over tighten the bolt either because you don't want to strip it accidentally. Rub some of your old oil onto a new filter rubber gasket so the rubber lasts longer. Install the new filter to a torque spec. Again, torque wrench will give you a better accuracy, but I typically just hand tight it. Pour recommended quantity of fresh engine oil. Check level gauge while doing it. It's better to pour less than overfilling it. Put the oil cap back and run the engine for 5 to 10 minutes so it spreads the fresh oil everywhere in the system. Check for any leaks at the drain plug, oil filter and oil cap for next few days. Also, check engine oil levels if you need to top it up.
One of the most common mistake is not changing the engine oil on time, and I'm guilty of it. Oil have a shelf life and it needs to be changed based on kilometers ridden or duration, whichever is earlier. So even if you don't ride the bike, it's important to change the oil after some time. For this specific model, manufacturer recommends to change the oil every 6,000 kilometers or 12 months, whichever comes first.
Make a note of current kilometers so you know when the next oil change is due. I also set my trip meter to 0, that way I can always check at any time during rides.
Mistake number 2, not selecting the right type of engine oil. Now, all the engine oils are rated on their thickness level that is most suitable for certain temperatures. You will see this SAE rating on each engine oil and it means something. So you want to find out an engine oil that's basically suits your riding needs. To give you an example, I live in Canada where winters are harsh and summers are very warm. And since I ride throughout the winter, I chose 10W40 option, which is rated for minus 20 degrees Celsius all the way up to 40 degrees Celsius. Mistake number 3, not changing the washer. I know we get lazy and the washer looks, something that's like a very small thing that we may not have to worry about, but you'll be surprised because not changing the damaged washer could actually cost you a lot of headache. And since it costs less than $2, it is recommended to change it every time you change the engine oil. Mistake number 3, over tightening the bolts. Now, this is something that I personally struggle with since I don't have a torque wrench, and I did make a mistake of over applying a pressure while I was trying to loosen it up, but I was actually tightening the bolt even furthermore and ended up stripping up the bolt and cost me a lot of headache. So I had to learn the hard way, and I hope you don't have to. So always make sure that you are applying the pressure in the right direction, and if you can, use a torque wrench. Mistake number 5, not leveling the bike before pouring a new engine oil. You want to make sure your bike is parked on a flat surface and it's not on a slope or a hill or creating any sort of weird angle that's not allowing you to get the accurate engine oil reading. Because last thing you want is over pouring or under pouring of the engine oil. Under pouring is a little bit better because you can always top it up, whereas over pouring, you will need to start the process all over again and drain more oil, and plus it's messy, so which you can avoid it easily. I typically just take a gauge, eye gauge, and make sure the bike is parked correctly. But if you want to be very accurate, then you can always use a leveler from a hardware store or just use a level app from your phone.
Working on a motorcycle is one of the Zen-like process which allows us to get to know our motorcycles. Plus, you will have a peace of mind that it was done correctly because nobody else will take care of your motorcycle as good as you. If you find this video was helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more advanced riding skill related content. Thank you.